This is Colosseum, presented by Tyler Drunken Mills. In today's world where death in games doesn't really mean much with infinite lives or reloading saves, imagine a game where there are no respawns and death is permanent for the character. It gives it more meaning. And then on top of that, you put that in a game that is all about avoiding death. A combat game, a gladiator game. That's what Colosseum is all about. Not just about racking up the most kills, but about surviving the arena. In Colosseum, you'll be playing as a warrior who gains experience in gold by fighting in an arena. And then outside of the arena, you will be able to spend that experience in gold to both boost and specialize your character based on how you want to play the game. These specialization and boosts come in the form of teams you can build around yourself of fight promoters or followers that help increase the amount of experience, gold, or fame you get from winning a fight. You can also accept or give bribes to throw fights and then bet on whoever is not throwing the fight to make large amount of money all at once. You can spend your experience to increase your abilities but not your base stats. You can become more proficient with abilities, have them cost less to use, have them be faster, and even get access to more complicated attacks. But you will never be able to buff your stamina to the point where you aren't killable by any normal means. All of that comes into play in the ring in the form of an over-the-shoulder, third-person combat style, much like you can see Arkham Asylum. It's based on counters and quick movements and locking on to enemies as opposed to just running into a big crowd and swinging your sword in a circle and hoping things die. Since the primary goal of Colosseum is to survive as long as possible and eventually retire, that makes the primary anti-force just other gladiators that can possibly kill you in the arena. However, a secondary goal that is tied with a secondary anti-force is your fame, because you gain fame based on the difficulty of fights you complete in the arena, and that fame is what partially dictates your final score. Each separate fight in Colosseum will have its own unique set of rules. However, the most fundamental and basic rule behind the game is that when you die, you lose, and when you retire, you win. So, in order to retire, you need to make decisions throughout the game, like accepting bribes, giving bribes, and more importantly, speccing out your character in a way that allows you to both survive and thrive. And then ultimately, the most important decision you make is when you retire. When you think you have reached your peak and cannot go any further without severely risking death. The combat system in Colosseum will be very similar to things like Assassin's Creed and Fable, while the specialization of abilities and talents will be more similar to World of Warcraft. However, unlike Assassin's Creed, Fable, and WoW, there will not be any parkour, you will not be able to use range attacks like a bow, and there will certainly not be any magical spellcasting done by anyone in the game at all. The biggest risk in making Colosseum is going to be balancing, not just the abilities, but the player interest, since when you die, you have to completely restart. In order to combat this, I'm going to add the legacy tree and the heirloom systems from Rogue Legacy and WoW, so that even when you die, your death makes your next attempt somewhat easier. Thanks for watching!